take this one and break it open and show you what it looks like. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Hello and welcome to In the Kitchen with Matt. I am your host, Matt Taylor. Today I'm going to show you how to make cinnamon twists. These cinnamon twist pastries are so yummy and super duper easy to make. If I can do it, you can do it. Before I move on, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you won't miss out on any of my new videos. Let's get baking. Down below in the description box, you'll find a list of the ingredients and their amounts. Begin by preheating the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And now what we're going to do is we take 1/2 cup of cinnamon, and we're just going to make a cinnamon and sugar mix. And I have 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and we'll come in here and give that a good mix. And you could adjust those amounts according to your taste. If you want a little bit more cinnamon, then you can add another full teaspoon of cinnamon if you want. And then what I like to do is I like to take an empty spice container and fill it up with this mixture. This is purely optional. I always like to have a cinnamon and sugar mix on hand. And then I'll just pour that in there using a funnel. And that 1/2 cup, this particular one, fills it right to the edge. Give it a little tap. So that's like a perfect amount for this shaker. Okay, and then I'll have a cinnamon and sugar shaker. Pretty awesome. Of course, you could just use a spoon to scoop this out later. And now let's unfold our puff pastry. I'm just using a pre-made frozen puff pastry, but you can make a homemade puff pastry if you like. Homemade puff pastries take a lot of time to make, and I just wanted this to be just a quick and easy treat for you to make. But if you make puff pastry for something else and you have extras, you can do this as well, even if that was not your intent at the beginning. I know someone's going to comment saying, why didn't you make the puff pastry from scratch? I will do a different complete video on its own on how to make puff pastry from scratch. And what we're going to do is we're going to just roll this out a little bit. Just stretch it out a little bit. And if you notice, I have it on a silicone mat. And you don't have to use a silicone mat. This is just so it doesn't stick. But you can do it right on the counter too if you want. And now what we want to do is we'll just take a ruler and we will go every inch. Which is about the width of this ruler, is about 1 inch. And it doesn't have to be completely exact. Like this one will be a little bit off. And that's okay. And now what we will do is we will take a couple tablespoons of butter and melt this in the microwave, or you could certainly do it on the stovetop. I'm just going to put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds to melt it. And if you wind up needing more butter, then just melt some more butter. This recipe does not have to be exact by any means, and it's very easy to just make adjustments. So we'll take the butter, our little basting brush that we have, and we'll just baste the tops of these with butter. This will give the cinnamon and sugar something to stick onto, as well as add flavor, of course. If you watch my show, you know I love butter. Butter, butter, butter. All right, and then we'll come in here with our cinnamon and sugar shaker, and we'll just give it a good shake and cover it evenly. You put in as much or as little as you want of this. Awesome. And now what we'll do is we will take these and just turn them over. Make sure you have clean hands, of course. Always have clean hands. And then we'll come in here with the butter and we'll baste this side. And you could also just lay this in, like have the sugar on top of this mat or in another pan or some kind of pan. You can have your cinnamon sugar mix in there and have these laying in that. I've seen that done in a video. I think it was the Epicurious video. They do theirs a little differently. Okay, go for the cinnamon sugar again. Again, put as little or as much as you want of the cinnamon sugar. Okay, now here comes the fun part. We'll move that up. We'll take a baking sheet again now we'll put parchment paper or silicone mat on the baking sheet, and then we'll take our strip of cinnamon sugar and puff pastry and we'll just give it a twist, give it a twist, give it a twist. As many twists as you want to do, and we'll do that with the rest of these. You can twist it up here too if you want. And then you'll want about an inch, inch and a half in between because they will puff up. And now we are going to bake these in the oven, again 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 205 Celsius, middle rack position, and we'll bake them for 15 to 20 minutes. They'll puff up and get nice and golden brown. On to that step. And when they come out of the oven, they'll look something like this. Don't those look amazing? And then let them cool for 5 to 10 minutes before serving them up. All right, I'm gonna take this one and break it open and show you what it looks like. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Isn't that awesome? Give it a taste. All right, the puff pastry cinnamon twists are done and turned out fantastic. You can serve them for breakfast, for brunch, just have a snack throughout the day or a treat after dinner, whatever you want to do. Really easy to do. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm Matt Taylor. This has been another episode of In the Kitchen with Matt. Thank you for joining me. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or requests, put them down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thumbs up, down the corner, push it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos. Take care. Time for me to dive into one of these. Oh yeah. Grab this one right here.